Willis Sams Watson. Willis Sams Watson of Ridge Spring began life as a slave, having been born in about 2 miles of where he now resides on February 26, 1857. It was then Edgefield, now Saluda County. His father, Tom Watson, was the son of a white man and Julia Inabinette. Tom Watson was in many respects a remarkable man, widely known for his good sense and reliable character. With the coming of emancipation, he began life for himself, and having the confidence of his white neighbors soon established himself in the community. He was not only a hard worker himself, but required those about him to work also. There was no loafing time on his farm. He bought a tract of 227 acres, nearly half of which his son now owns. After crops in the summer, the time was devoted to clearing land, as was also the winter. This sort of work occupied the son for 10 consecutive summers and 16 winters. So it will be seen that Willis Watson's chance to get an education was slim. He managed, however, to snatch a month occasionally, and because of his father's need of business arithmetic, he gave special attention to that branch in which he made rapid progress, but at the expense of his other studies. Thus the boyhood and youth of young Watson were spent under the direction of his father. Few men in his section have done more hard work than he. These were hard years, but they gave the young man the training and experience which later brought success. His mother was Rose Boyd, a daughter of Major Boyd. On August 4, 1878, Willis Watson was married to Miss Tenna Irvin, a daughter of Smart and Amy Irvin of Edgefield County. 6 children have been born to them. They are Nettie, Mrs. Coleman, deceased, James H., Mittie, Mrs. Garrett, Mammy, Mrs. Howard Thomas, and Sally, Mrs. Blake. Even after his marriage, Mr. Watson was still ambitious about an education, and against the protest of his father hired a hand to substitute for him on the farm while he went to school. 4 years after he married, his father died. Willis administered on the estate, he finished paying for the place, and settled all claims. He also gave the younger children the opportunities of the education which was denied him, and divided up the plantation. By that time his own growing children were ready for school, and he not only provided for their public schooling, but sent them all to college, maintaining those that desired it till graduation. Through all the years his wife patiently and faithfully assisted and supported him in his undertakings. As he was able to do so, he began to buy up the shares of T. Carrickey Old Place, till he now owns more than 100 acres which are in a high state of cultivation, and on which he has a most attractive home. He has made as high as 60 bales of cotton besides grain and other produce. He has also given considerable attention to fruit culture. He also owns a fine farm in Aiken County as well as a valuable house and lot in Lexington County. While he has been a busy man, he has not been too busy to take a part in those things which make for the betterment of his race. He is an active member of the I.H. Branch Baptist Church and a deacon. He belongs to the Odd Fellows and the Masons. He is a member of the executive board of the Colored Fair Association and treasurer of the Batesburg Colored Fair. In addition to the above, he is a member of the household of Ruth and the sons and daughters of Jacob. Among both his white and colored neighbors, no one in the community stands higher than Willis Watson, for while rearing his family and accumulating property, he has been careful to build a good character and good Kenner. Rev. Wyatt Thaddeus Kenner, a successful businessman and a popular pastor as well. Moderator of the Ridge Hill Baptist Association, lives near Ridge Spring but in Aiken County. He is a native of Edgefield County, where he was born October 15, 1862. His father, Richmond Kenner, was also a Baptist preacher. He was a son of Robert Kenner, who was brought from Virginia to South Carolina. He was a man of great ability, and though a slave, was a man of means whose judgment was recognized. His father was a white man. Rev. Kenner's mother was Matilda Kenner, whose father was white also. Our subject was married on March 10, 1887 to Miss Julia Irvin, a daughter of Smart Irvin of Edgefield County. They have 8 children: Arthur, Johnny E. Clarabelle, Mrs. Washington, Nettie Lee, Matilda, Minnie E. Beulah, and Pearl Kenner. As a boy, Rev. Kenner attended the public schools after the war. Later he took the normal course at Benedict College and Wyatt Thaddeus Kent. Early entered into the educational work. He continued to teach for 20 years and has lived to see the boys and girls who went to his early schools grow up to be useful men and women. He was converted and joined the Baptist Church at 19 years of age. Almost immediately there came the impression that he ought to preach, but he busied himself with his farming and his teaching for 8 years before actually entering upon the work of the ministry. He was busy in the meantime, Hope minus ever, as superintendent of the Sunday school, in which capacity he served for 20 years. In 1892 he was ordained by his home church, Jerusalem, which immediately called him to its pastorate. He has since served the same church continuously. An attractive house of worship was built in 1917, and many new members added. And the work strengthened in every way. He served the Tabernacle Church in Lexington County, 13 years, and repaired the property. He preached at Rock Hill, Saluda, 5 years, and built a new house. He also preached at Coleman Ridge, Edgefield County, 5 years, and built there too. He accepted a call from the Ocean Grove Church in Aiken County and remained 10 years, during which the old church was replaced by a new one. He also pastored Coleman Thankful for 3 years. He is now 1,918 serving Jerusalem Tabernacle, Rock Hill, and Coleman Ridge churches. 6 years ago he was chosen moderator of the Rage Hill Association, over which he has since presided. He is superintendent of the Batesburg Colored Fair. He is a trustee of Morris College and belongs to the Odd Fellows and Masons. He is an ardent advocate of Christian education. His favorite reading after the Bible consists of history and current literature. Rev. Kennard is a progressive farmer. He began in a small way but has increased his holdings till he now has 300 acres of excellent farmland in the upper part of Aiken County. He also owns 3 lots in Ridge Spring and some property in Aiken, South Carolina.